Often termed as the American Mediterranean, the Caribbean is set in an ideal setting that serves as a relaxing gateway, allowing remote works, retirees, or anyone looking for a holiday retreat to rejuvenate in a beautiful environment characterized by decent palm trees and dazzling sunsets. Most of the coastal cities in the Caribbean are quite expensive, especially the ones in its prime areas like the Bahamas, the Cayman Islands, or the ones in the Leeward Islands. But nonetheless, the Caribbean is an enormous sub-oceanic basin and covers a vast area from the Gulf of Mexico to the West Indies. So altogether, there are lots of coastal cities on its shoreline offering a lower cost of living. The cities mentioned in this video are the cheapest out of all the livable coastal cities on the Caribbean, and all of these are ranked according to their average median cost of living. Moreover, besides having a low cost of living, these cities fairly developed and are decked with all the modern-day services and amenities. Number 12. St. George's, Grenada. Situated in the southwest of the idyllic island nation of Grenada, St. George is the capital and main economic hub of the country. Its topography is surrounded by a hilly remains of an old volcano crater, which meanders into a horseshoe-shaped harbor. The city itself is very active and has fairly developed infrastructure, which offers high-quality services to its residents. Despite having a small population of around 35,000, many snowbirds, sailors, and vacationers visit this city every year. Its average cost of living is around $2,000 to $2,300 a month, which is still quite affordable than most major cities of nearby Caribbean islands. In spite of being an island nation, groceries, particularly the abundant local supplies, are cheap here, and eating out is also very reasonable. However, the biggest contributor to its monthly cost is housing, as average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in this city starts from $700 to $1,000 for properties overlooking the beach. Number 11. St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda comprise of two large-scale islands in the Caribbean, with St. John's as their capital and commercial center, as well as the chief port of the island of Antigua. It's a micro-metropolis with a population of around 30,000 inhabitants, a number that increases notably in peak cruise seasons. The average cost of living in this tranquil city is around $1,800 to $2,200, most of which is spent on groceries and fresh produce due to a high rate of import. On the flip side, housing in this city is somewhat affordable, and one can find huge variety of properties from villas and houses on the hillside to exclusive waterfront condominiums. To top it off, the city is steeped in history and is famous for its shopping malls, boutique shops, and a decent nightlife scene. Number 10. Castries, St. Lucia. With a population of around 25,000, Castries is the main seaport and the national capital of St. Lucia, a first-class mountainous, volcanic, and tropical island in the Caribbean. The city itself is a bustling political and economic hub boasting a number of outdoor markets and cultural attractions. Home to the island's main port, it also hosts many foreign and local nationals who have invested in its local businesses. So it's a good choice for those who want to be in the heart of the action whilst living in St. Lucia. The median cost of living in this city is same as anywhere else on St. Lucia. A single person can easily reside under a monthly budget of $1,700 to $2,000 per month. Most foreign nationals will also find that housing, domestic food products, and services are generally much cheaper in this city. Number 9. Punta Pietra, Guadeloupe. Situated on the southwest portion of the island of Guadeloupe, an overseas region and department of France located in the Lesser Antilles, Punta Pietra is the region's largest city and economic capital. Despite it being an overseas department of France, many foreign nationals, especially from EU countries, tend to temporarily move to this island each year, as most of them don't require a visa, while those hailing from North America or elsewhere can avail its readily available 12-month renewable visa. Apart from this city is fairly developed and offers all the modern-day services and amenities. In addition to this, foreigners are allowed to invest in the island's real estate, and prices in this city seem lower than many major cities on other islands. And one doesn't need to be a millionaire to live here, as the cost of living here could be as low as $1,600 to $2,000 a month. Number 8. Cancun, Mexico. Set in the southeastern part of Mexico on the Yucatan Peninsula, bordering the Caribbean Sea, Cancun is made up of two distinctive districts. One of these is pretty much centered around the beachfront strip and high-rise hotels, and the other one is a more traditional downtown district. It's often the first place of consideration in Mexico for most people hailing from nearby USA and Canada, as it harbors decent amenities and infrastructure. The cost of living in this city varies a lot. people who choose to reside in its touristy area tend to spend more than those residing in its main hub. Overall, the average monthly spending in this city is in the price bracket of $1,500 to $2,000. Unlike the island cities on this list, it may not possess a tranquility factor, but it's certainly unique, with endless things to do in the rich Mayan world of the Yucatan Peninsula. Number 7. Belize City, Belize. This city is the largest seaport and a former capital of its namesake country of Belize. It's where many Caribbean cruise ships dock and is home to the country's main airport. There are plenty of things to do in this city, with very culturally diverse aspects and lots of natural wonders. On the downside, the safety prospects of this city are a bit on the rough side, and strolling at night in the city is not recommended. Nevertheless, it's no different than many major cities, and one should always take sensible precautions. When it comes to cost of living, a single person can easily reside in this city under a monthly budget of $1,400 to $1,800. Number 6. Fort de France, Martinique. Just like Guadeloupe, Martinique is an overseas French department that hosts many international folks. Its capital city of Fort de France is always the main point of entry for all visitors hailing to this French Caribbean island. Many foreign nationals coming to Martinique arrive at Fort de France's ferry port or on the island's international airport that hosts direct flights from North America. The cost of living in this city can be high, but in the end, it all depends on the type of living accommodation one chooses. Newly built sumptuous houses and apartments overlooking the sea can be quite expensive. While if one chooses to reside in one of its colonial-era buildings, monthly living cost decreases by a wide margin. Currently, the median average cost of living in this city is in the price bracket of $1,400 to $1,800. Number 5. Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Just an hour's drive away from Cancun, Playa del Carmen is another famous resort city in Mexico, situated on the Yucatan Riviera. Compared to Cancun, it has a much more laid-back vibe, while still being touristy, feeling less commercialized and more like a small beach town. So it's best suited for people looking for walkability and easy access to restaurants, beaches, and nightlife. Furthermore, it's much cheaper than Cancun and Tulum, with a legion of well-priced apartments, cheap local eateries, and affordable utilities. But bear in mind, its cost of living tends to increase a bit in peak seasons, usually in winters, as many US and Canadian citizens make their way here. Nevertheless, its overall cost of living is still quite affordable, ranging from between $1,200 to $1,600 per month. Number 4. Santa Marta, Colombia. With almost 500,000 residents, this city is located in northern Colombia between the Caribbean Sea and the mountain range of Sierra Nevada. It's probably one of the best coastal cities that Colombia has to offer, as it's certainly quite safe, easily accessible, and provides all the modern-day services and amenities. The median cost of living in this city is around $1,100 to $1,400. These figures can increase even higher if one chooses to reside in its prime coastal areas. After all, it's Colombia's premier beach destination and is a very popular spot for local vacationers, international retirees, and remote workers. Number 3. Basse-Terre, St. Kitts and Nevis. Set on the Caribbean shore of southwestern island of St. Kitts, Basse-Terre is the oldest settlement in all of the Eastern Caribbean, with a population of roughly 15,000. Despite being in midst of well-renowned Caribbean islands, it's very cheap, and one can easily reside in the city of Basse-Terre on a monthly budget of $1,000 to $1,200. This might be due to its marginally low level of availability of modern-day services, but this doesn't mean the city is deserted, as it is dotted with plenty of shops and restaurants that are buzzing with activity throughout the day. Number 2. Montego Bay, Jamaica. Montego Bay is a beautiful city located on the western tip of Jamaica. It's brimming with energy and offers stunning beaches, great nightlife, and top-ranked resorts. Although it's primarily known as a tourist hub, it's one of the best choices for digital nomads who want to soak up the sun and Rastafari culture. Plus, the area boasts all the facilities with a substantial international airport that hosts direct flights from North America, making travel even more accessible. The average cost of living here tends to be around $1,000, even for those residing in its upscale neighborhoods. On the downside, the safety scores of this city are not that appealing, but nonetheless, most issues in Montego Bay are largely concentrated in the inner city areas, while coastal areas are much safer. Number 1. Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Santo Domingo has approximately 3 million residents living in its metro area, making it the largest city in the Caribbean by population. With malls, restaurants, and beaches easily accessible, this city has something for everyone, with quiet and secure neighborhoods as well as more lively, loud areas. In addition to this, a number of services and amenities like cultural venues, hospitals, public transport, and service accommodation can be found in the city. The average monthly budget required to live comfortably in Santo Domingo, whilst availing everything, is about $1,000. All in all, this is a strategic spot to stay in the Dominican Republic because it is compact and can be treated as a great base to explore nearby areas.